from the planet Duplo. We are here to destroy you.
Hello, visitors from another planet. There's no need to fight anymore. See? Friends.
Ooh.
In Hollywood, we often hear that Australians do well in the area of acting and production, but in the world of animation, Australians are becoming a formidable force. From these production studios here in Sydney, the Lego Movie was made, and it's done so well that they're bringing out a sequel. Well, Sharon Taylor is the co-producer of the Lego Movie 2. Sharon, this is incredible to have so many Australians working on an animation that's a Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of people, a lot of fun and a lot of bricks to bring these movies to life, and I think we're really proud of everything that the team has done, bringing the little Aussie company to take over the world.
What's involved in making an animation like this come to life?
You know, so many people, so many long hours. It would take over 18 years with one animator just to produce this movie.
And in terms of bricks, there's lots of nuances and things that we see in the real Lego world. How do you translate that to the screen?
Our biggest shot has over 161 million bricks in it, so you can make every single piece of this movie in real life if you have enough bricks.
And tell me about competitively overseas. I imagine it would be quite difficult to make a bit of headway amongst all these really big production companies.
We are competing on a global scale. It's really an industry that has grown over the last period of time, and for the last 25 years we've been plugging away at little films down here in Australia, taking over the world.
Sorry about my appearance. I was in a meeting with the animal planet of anthropomorphia, so I look like a horse. I could change my form to something else if this makes you uncomfortable.
Hey guys. No, go back. The horse was much more palatable.
Animation films are labour-intensive projects. They can take up to 3 years to produce, and for this particular film, it was part of a 5-year plan. But perhaps contrary to popular belief, it's not just involving computers. The trusty paper and pen still have a role in making characters come to life. Well, Grant Freckleton is a visual specialist who helped the film come to life. Grant, tell me about some of the character production and how they translate to the silver screen.
Well, you might imagine that we just dive in and start putting Lego bricks together when we're designing characters. We actually have to draw a lot of them first. So here's a series of drawings of the character Sweet Mayhem. They're drawn and posed in a way that we can't necessarily produce in actual Lego. And they have a lot of limitations. So if you actually look at the drawing, she's posed out in this really nice attitudinal way. Here, in the final design, her legs are solid, so everything's hard plastic, and so we're only limited to what we call their points of articulation, which is her shoulders and her hips and her neck. That's really all we can animate on this character. So it's a real challenge, and it's really, really fun to try and figure out how to convey a performance with such limitations.
What about in some of the action scenes with Lego? How do you make that translate to the screen?
Well, apart from just watching a lot of cool movies and getting inspired by car chases and so on, we have to figure out how we take things you might see in a typical action film and translate them into Lego. So in this case, we've got an explosion, a staple of action films. What we wanted to do in this particular Lego movie is to mix what I'll call a cartoony style, the classic bang shape, with real physics. So we might have one department build this as an actual prop, and then another department will go in and actually simulate computer versions of real bricks flying around and bouncing off the table like they might do in reality.
So is there a part of this film where you guys sort of sat behind in a screen and actually played with Lego, built some characters, and then see what it would look like if you trashed it all?
Yeah, exactly. We get to build things and then smash them and shoot them with cameras and sort of understand how the plastic behaves when it bounces off the table and so on. And then our effects team will go away and figure out how to actually simulate that inside a computer.
Now, it's not easy doing animation. What is your advice to budding animators who want to get into the industry full time?
Well, you've got to go away and start drawing and start animating, and you've got to draw things you love and be inspired, because otherwise you won't keep doing it. But at the same time, you have to also look at reality and observe reality. So if you love Lego characters, don't just draw Lego characters all the time. Actually go and look at people and look at trees and look at the real world and figure out how to translate that into your designs.
And I guess you've got to have a lot of patience too.
You've got to have a lot of patience. You know, animation can be fun, but it can also be very, very time-consuming and take a lot of effort and a lot of patience.
I got a play phone and a play phone. I gotta get it, baby.
No, it did not.
There ain't nothing you can't break.
Since day one, I've been A1 side.